Hey guys, it's Sam and I'm here to announce the third round of TomeTopple Readathon. Many of you guys have been asking when the next round was, and I kept telling you it was coming. Spring was going to be the next round of TomeTopple, and it is now upon us. For those of you that are new to TomeTopple is a 2-week-long readathon that is focused around big books, so books over 500 pages, and it's 2 weeks long so that you all have a chance to read those longer books. But again, it's not necessarily focused on reading as many books as possible, it's more focused on reading as many pages as possible, since readathons tend to be more about quantity of smaller books instead of reading a giant book. That's what this readathon's about. This TomeTopple will take place from April 7th to April 20th, so it will start at midnight on April 7th wherever you are in the world in your particular time zone, and then will end at 11:59 p.m. in your time zone on April 20th wherever you are. As always, we have a bunch of wonderful hosts joining us, some old faces, some new faces. We have Adriana from Perpetual Pages, Sarah Jane from The Book Life, Sheema from Dreamthiefs on Instagram, and Inej's on Tumblr, Katrina from Little Book Owl, Bethany from Bibliophilic Witch on Tumblr, and Emma from Aeduan on Tumblr. As per usual, all these hosts will be running Twitter sprints and Twitter chats and stuff throughout the entire readathon, so I will link all the social media stuff down below for that. We have a Goodreads group, and we have a Twitter, so that will be all down below, and again, you can use the hashtag TomeTopple for anything TomeTopple related when you're reading and such. The Goodreads page also has a list of suggestions for books, so if you're having trouble thinking of things that meet the challenges, which I will talk about in a second, you can definitely check out the giant master list we have there, as well as read-alongs that will be taking place. Those aren't necessarily run by us, but there are a lot of books that tend to get read in every single TomeTopple, so some of those more popular choices will be on the Goodreads group listed in discussions and stuff, so you guys can feel like you're reading along with people. It's motivating, it helps along with the Twitter sprints and stuff, and we also have particular hashtags for those read-alongs going on. So it'll be like, you know, TT for TomeTopple Outlander, or TT A Song of Ice and Fire, or whatever. So all of the information for those kinds of things, if you're interested in those kind of read-along motivating things, will be on the Goodreads group. So now I'm going to get to the challenges. As always, the challenges are not required whatsoever. These are just things that might help you choose a TBR if you're having trouble thinking of books, or it will just be another motivating thing. Again, you don't need to read from any of the challenges, you can just pick whatever, and it's not like your book has to fulfill all of the challenges, nothing like that. This readathon is not serious. They are just some guidelines to help you if you're having trouble thinking of some books and if you need more motivating things like challenges to help you with readathons. Challenge number 1 is to read more than one tome, so again, more than one book over 500 pages. Challenge number 2 is to read a graphic novel. Now in the past we've had it so that you could read any kind of graphic novel as kind of a break, but as of the last round we actually had graphic novels that were over 500 pages. So omnibuses in this case do count, those like the giant Wonder Woman, Superman, whatever, giant series omnibuses, those do count for graphic novels. Typically speaking, compiled works don't count, so short story collections, anthology, stuff like that don't count since those individual works tend to be shorter. But in the case of graphic novels, just to make it easier, 500 pages of like omnibus and stuff is totally fine. There are also a number of standalone graphic novels that fit this bill, so we have like Sculptor, which is a giant graphic novel, or Blankets. Yeah, you can find them, I promise. Challenge number 3 is to read a tome that is part of a series. So again, pretty self-explanatory. Read a book that's part of a trilogy or a giant series. A lot of people during these readathons tend to read fantasy books, so it's really not hard to fulfill this challenge whatsoever. Challenge number 4 is to buddy read a tome. So again, this is where the Goodreads group and the Twitter hashtags and stuff come in really handy. You can pick somebody to buddy read a book with you, a giant book. Because again, anything that's motivating to read some of these giant books is helpful in my opinion. And number 5 is to read an adult novel. So YA and middle grade are obviously on the table. You don't need to fulfill this challenge whatsoever if you don't want to, but it is challenging people to read more adult novels since those are the bigger, more intimidating series. I challenge you to read an adult novel. As I said, the only real rule for this is the book has to be over 500 pages. So, like I said before, that doesn't include bind-ups or anything like that, but if it's over 500 pages, an individual work, then you're good to go. If you have any questions about books that qualify, we definitely answer questions like that all the time, so definitely leave a comment in the comment section, or go ahead and tweet us and we will definitely answer if you have one that you feel like is a little blurry. And next I'm going to get to my TBR. So this TBR isn't as long as my TBRs have been in the past, because most of my TBRs for TomeTopple are 2 books. This time around, I only really have 1 book on my TBR. And I hope a lot of you are excited, because y'all keep asking me when I'm going to read this book, and I keep telling you that it's going to come for a TomeTopple because I'm scared of it a little bit, and it's probably not hard to decide what book this is. It's probably pretty easy, you probably know. And that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the first book in the Kingkiller Chronicles, and I'm very excited to finally be starting this series. This one isn't as intimidating as the second book in the series, because I believe the second book in the series is like 1,000 pages long, and this one's only about 650. Oh, only. But I'm excited about this. I'm hoping that I can get through this. I'm kind of just saying that this is my only book really on my TBR this time around because I've been very busy with work where I'm barely finishing one normal size book a week. So this is going to be a challenge in and of itself. This does fulfill a couple of the challenges, so this is an adult book and it is a book in a series, so I'm fulfilling 2 of the challenges, and I think I'm just going to stick to this. I might put a backup book on here because I am extra, but I probably won't get to that, and it would just be, it's dishonest for me to put it on there because I'm really just focusing on this book. I hope a lot of you are excited. Again, whenever I mention this book, I mention that somewhere out there, Kayla of Bookadoodles is screeching in happiness, so I know she's ready to get all of my feelings and me to text all of my feelings as I read this book, and I'm really excited about it. I hope I enjoy it. I've been putting it off for a while, but also looking forward to it for a while, so it's time. If, big if, because like I said, I'm probably not going to get to a second book, but if I do, it will probably be Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and I figure if I get to another book, it's going to be probably a YA or a graphic novel, so this is definitely potential for a second book. But again, I'm basically going into it knowing that that's probably not going to happen because The Name of the Wind, it's a long book, and it's dense, and I'm excited, but am I going to get to this one? Probably not. I wish I would, but probably not. So that is it for my announcement and TBR. As always, all pertinent links as well as links to the hosts, the different platforms will be all down below in the description box, so check that out. That is your wealth of resources and knowledge all about TomeTopple. Comment down below, let me know if you will be participating and what you plan on reading. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!